and bombs, they have to also collect all the heart pieces and all the pictures, and red or blue tunic. So we're just waiting for them to, and they're starting now. So it might be a bit of a stretch to explain everything that's happening. So if you got any questions about the run or any tricks, pop your questions in chat. I'll respond to them. So I'll explain a bit about whilst they're going to the beach. So they're going to be wanting to get Quicksword when they get to the beach. After that, they're going to be looking to farm 10 rupees. Now, to do that, they're going to be using a glitch, which involves duplicating item drops. Well, in this case, rupees. And the way they do that, they'll be using sword or shield, and they'll be using it at the same time as they collect the rupee, and hopefully they'll get a double. So we have Spice getting Quicksword, but Spiraster missed it. I don't know why Spiraster missed it. I think he did the left side, which is actually good for rupees, but Spice getting it from the right side. Now, what this does, it skips the cutscene for the owl. You still get the text, but you sort of, like, you don't really skip the cutscene, but you still grab the sword off it quicker. So yeah, you can see them going for rupees, and Spice getting incredible lucky. So they want 10 rupees because they want to buy the bombs. Now, they're not going to lose rupees off buying the bombs, but they do need to have the 10 rupees to buy them in the first place. And they're going to use a save and quit to basically not lose rupees. So Spiraster going in, he's going to steal the shovel. Now, this isn't a glitch, but we'll see the next part that he does in the shop will be. So this also actually activates one of our pictures later on, where you get a picture for stealing from the shop. And Spice getting really bad RNG. So you see there Spiraster save and quit as he was buying the bombs. Now that is a glitch. You do need 10 rupees to be able to do it, but you don't lose any rupees as a result of it. Spice is... Spice, wow. His luck so far. Oh my god, he is having such a terrible start of the run. He's getting trolled so hard here. So, the reason why we wanted to keep the rupees, you'll see on Spiraster's screen that he's collecting the powder. Now, you need 10 rupees to do that. My god. Wow, I feel for Spice, I really do. I've lost runs in other categories due to that kind of stuff. You just have one of those runs where just no RNG wants to cooperate. So we have Spiraster collecting collecting a seashell already. Okay, so he's going to be going to collect the tail key, and so he's going to use a glitch, which is a bomb trigger. And the way these work is you place 2 bombs within 4 frames of each other, and you'll make things happen on the screen. That's the best way I can explain. You make things happen. And we'll see they'll make a lot of different things happen during this run. Now, you might think, well, how do you place 2 bombs within 4 frames of each other? The game stops you from doing that. You place one before you transition and one immediately after you transition, and that's how they do it in this case. We'll see maybe later they might use pits to do it. Well, they'll use pits in one particular place, but in Dungeon 7 we'll see bomb triggers used quite a lot. So I'm gonna switch audio to Spiraster because he's in the lead. So, Spiraster using a wall clip to open the key block weirdly there. So yes, Spice having quite a lot of ground to make up already due to just RNG. Now, I will mention these two are our these two runners are our two top Canadian runners, and they're quite close on the leaderboard. So, in terms of actual PBs, we have Spicefather, also known as Space Otter. He's got a PB of 1 hour 24.1. Spiraster has a PB of 1 hour 26.34. But this could be a very close race. So, gonna see. I don't know. We're not gonna see a damage boost. I thought Spiraster was gonna do a damage boost there. So, the feather is pretty broken in this game. It's overpowered. So I didn't see whether Spiraster got the seashell in here. I assume he did, but so there is a seashell mansion in this game, which everyone probably already knows. It gives you a seashell when you enter it with 5 seashells, and then again when you have 10 seashells. So their seashell routing here is going to be very, very precise. They're going to get certain seashells at certain times. And apparently that's a boss on Spiraster's screen. I've been told otherwise, but apparently it's a boss. Oh, Bamboo can join. Jump in. So Spiraster making light work of Moldorm. Moldorm is actually probably the hardest boss in a dungeon in this game. Both casually and in the speedrun. He can screw you over quite badly. So with the mini boss, I should explain that. So basically, Spiraster, and we're going to see Spice do it as well. They basically shoot 2 arrows, and the mini boss is dead. We're going to see it in Dungeon 2 as well, I believe. And you're not meant to have the bow this early in the game. They don't expect you to have the bow this early, but the bow just does so much damage. So what we saw there on Spice's screen was a super jump. And so the best way to explain this is that you wall clip into a wall, and the game thinks that when you jump, you're jumping off a ledge. So you jump away from the wall with the sword held up, and in some cases with no sword held out. And it forces you to sort of jump as if you're jumping off the ledge.
Good evening.
Hey, Bamboo.
What's up, Kravon? Sorry, I was running late.
It's all good. So, I'll run you down quickly what's happening. A quick recap for anyone late to the stream as well. So Spice had exceptionally bad RNG with collecting rupees, and then he had ridiculously bad RNG in the shop. That honestly at this point is the only reason which he's behind, and he's already behind quite a bit from that.
Yeah, like it figures if you're like so far behind in the late game that there was sure some of the early game RNG involved.
Yes. This game, like, we can't avoid it, regardless of what category we run. Heavily RNG start of the run, heavily RNG end of the run. The middle's fine.
I know. Well, in the middle there's basically no RNG whatsoever.
Not even Wolfsnake's RNG anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have a decent portion of self-loathing to be running any category of LADX. This game just generally has, like, it's one of the games that has more RNG involved than ours, I would say.
Yeah. So, we have Spiraster. He just got the picture. Well, he just spoke to the picture guy. You have to speak to the picture before you get any of the pictures. The only exception is the picture you get from stealing from the shop, which they've both already gotten. So, you have to speak to him then, because you cannot speak to him if you have Bow Wow, Marin, or the Rooster. And by the time we return Bow Wow, it's way too late to go up here, and it's just going to be really, really slow. So, now is really the only time that they can do that.
Indeed, yeah. You sure don't want to forget that. If you forget that, you can basically basically hard reset and hope that your last save and quit point didn't already get Bow Wow or something.
Yeah, you have to hope you didn't save and quit when you got Bow Wow for that to work. So Spiraster is probably going to get perfect RNG here. Commentator's curse, he didn't.
He didn't do the Xander setup. Like Xander posted some wall clip shenanigans earlier, which allegedly made this work better. Like you saw him standing there for 5 seconds, just waiting for Bow Wow to eat one flower.
I love how there's so many different strats for Bow Wow to eat something when it's just still pure RNG. These strats just make people feel better.
Yeah.
I curse Spiraster so badly there.
I mean, it's like half RNG manipulation, half superstition, or maybe only superstition.
Yeah, it's all superstition. So I mean that's good for the race. We want them to be close together. We want a good, nice, close race. So I'm going to use my curse again and say Spice is going to get the most appalling RNG you've ever seen on this. And hopefully he'll get a first try.
Having a few problems with the flock clip there, like basically what you do there is clip between like, oh, there's the good RNG.
That's decent,
there
yeah.
we go.
So Spiraster just two-shotting Angry Ogre. His name's apparently Henox. I call him Angry Ogre. Just because.
Okay, so Spiraster going for the safe race strat here. Like you can do a faster strat where you use an arrow to like clear the room with the 2 ghosts a little quicker, but arrows are really short in the early game until you get the arrow upgrade. So like the 20 arrows are really tight. So like it's a good call to go for the safe strat here in the ghost room.
Actually, bombs and arrows are really tight until you get the upgrades. Like, bombs, they have 10 bombs up until that first upgrade. That's it. So albeit they only have to use 2 for this boss that we're gonna see. They have to use 1 in D1 and then 2 for the bomb trigger in Forest.
Yeah, like you have to mess up quite a lot, I guess, so that bombs become a problem. But I mean, like, with arrows, it's just like the arrow upgrade, we get that, like, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes into the run. Bomb upgrade, we get it after D2, so that's like 15 minutes into the run. So, like, usually bombs would be a problem. There you saw the quick strat by spicefather. Worked perfectly.
Yeah. Once you have those upgrades, like, you don't have to worry about consumables at all after that point.
Yeah, like after that you can basically spam arrows and bombs as much as you want. Like the 60 bombs / arrows make it really convenient.
And the fact that they refill as well when you get the upgrades. So Spiraster getting the quick kill on the genie. So what he did is he wall clipped into the wall whilst holding the bottle. Normally you have to smack against the wall 3 times, but because he's wall clipped, there's no momentum for when the bottle bounces. So in an instant it hits it 3 times and it basically... What is Spice? Wow, I didn't know you could do that.
What did he do? I missed it, sorry.
He held out a bomb. He used the bomb to weigh himself down on the platform. I've never seen that before.
Well, I didn't know that actually works. That's sick, man.
It did. So, the second part of this quick kill, it's basically just a timing thing. You're too short with bombs, so you want to place a bomb about half a second after you break the pot. So he did it quite quickly there. But then you, oh, he missed it. Wow.
Oh,
so
damn
yeah,
it, man.
then you bomb out of the wall.
Well, I mean, it isn't something major. I mean, like, it makes you eventually, like, waste another arrow to get another bomb arrow on the boss. But I still guess the most time spicefather lost so far was just the early RNG, early game RNG.
Okay, we had a question in chat. What are they doing when they open the save and quit menu? So they use the save and quit menu to cancel text on chests, but we'll also see it later on in the run that they sometimes use it to buffer things that can't normally be buffered. So yeah,
like,
it's mostly skip text.
Yeah. Like you also saw Spicefather, Spiraster there. Oh my god, I'm gonna get those guys confused quite a bunch tonight, so get used to that. Yeah, like you saw also Spiraster there getting up the save and quit menu after picking up the chest with a seashell. Like, minor mistake there, he could have like save and quit it right away. So that's like really convenient because like the trigger that makes you add the extra seashell in the inventory is like triggered right at the moment where you open the chest. So that's a pretty neat little time save there.
So Spice getting the bomb upgrade. Now with the upgrades they have to be very careful. You see they hesitate when they select the option because they have to make sure they say no to the particular option that's first, because then it would upgrade their powder. Powder's your last upgrade.
Oh yeah.
You don't want first upgrade powder, then things start getting a bit problematic.
Yeah, like it's kind of annoying. I specifically remember from my childhood playthroughs that when I got the first time to the capacity upgrade guy, that he asks me, "Do you want to wear more powder?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, give me the powder." And only later I realized I could have also picked bombs or arrows. You know. Oh man, I was pissed.
So Spiraster getting a picture. He also entered the phone booth before doing that. So, like I mentioned earlier, the Seashell Mansion gives you a seashell at number 5 and number 10. So this is Spiraster's 6th seashell that he's getting. He's got 5 right now. So he's going to also save and quit out of this. And you're thinking, well, doesn't save and quit return you to your last entrance? In the overworld, these 2D sections, such as the Seashell Mansion, such as the Fisherman Under the Bridge, you can save and quit out of those, and it will not return you to where those were.
Oh, beautiful buffer by Spiraster there.
Yeah, wow, one buffer. Buffer City, as you call it.
Nice one.
Do you want to explain that?
Oh yeah, like it's a really weird mechanic in the game, which lets you skip the whole Camlet Castle side quest there. So like when you're standing on the pit, you're just like always wiggling around a little bit more until you eventually get sucked in by the pit. And the good thing is in this game we can advance the game frame by frame with just buffering the start menu, and he exploited that to find the exact frame where he drops into the pit. And once you drop into the pit and you buffer the pause menu on the exact same frame, you actually don't get sucked in by the pit, but it pushes you down a pixel. And that made him sort of stand in his menu, like sort of into the screen transition. That did let him transfer into that little garden there where he picked up the dungeon free key. So that's a big skip in the game.
Spiraster very almost soft-locked when he picked up that key. So he picked it up. He picked it up 1 pixel from transitioning, and we have seen in the past people pick up that key. Now, the problem is, if you transition whilst you're picking up that key, which is possible, and we'll see a glitch later on which actually uses this sort of glitch.
Oh yeah.
If you pick that up and you transition, you're going to pick up a leaf. The key's not going to be there anymore, so therefore you are soft-locked. You cannot get into D3. Now, they would have been able... Well, Spiraster would have been able to fix it because he had very recently save and quit into the phone box, but he would have lost a bunch of time from that. He would have had to do Villa Skip again.
Indeed, so you just gotta be careful there to not jump with picking up the key and jumping into the screen transition at the same time. Like, but like I'd say both of our runners here are experienced enough to like know how to handle the situation there. Beautiful one buffer by Spicefather there. Yeah,
I mean, Spiraster had me a bit worried there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting very close to the edge, and I thought, is he gonna transition?
Yeah, like you never know.
So,
I mean, like it's a race, so things happen. But we know both of these runners are, quite. They know the game pretty well. So I guess like also who's in the lead and who's winning tonight is just like your daily skill, your daily performance, which will set the win or lose this in this race.
So, Spiraster collecting Pegasus boots. Now, the Pegasus boots allows you to speedrun.
Oh yeah, they boost their movement speed by what? I guess like 1.5 or something.
I'm expecting some face palms in chat at the pun I made.
The speedrun pun. I mean, it's quite obvious.
Yeah, in every sense of the word.
So nice, neat quick kill there with a piece of follow by Spiraster. No problems there at all. The execution, like that's a really neat boss kill. If you're not familiar with the speed run, with the speed route, it's really cool to see that boss quick kill.
Space just deciding to take a fall in the pit there. So, I will say we haven't seen any sort of mistakes. Well, we saw a mistake from Space, I believe, on the D2 boss. But that's the only mistake we've really seen out of either of the two runners so far.
Yeah, like every other thing was like only minor things, like missing a menu or something. No major hiccups, no tricks that like made them lose like over 5 seconds or something.
Just goes to show how much RNG can impact the run when we see how far they are apart. And this was due to the Star RNG and Bow Wow RNG. Although Spice got better Bow Wow RNG, but it wasn't enough. He lost like a couple minutes due to RNG at the start.
Yeah, indeed. Like also on that matter, Spiraster had also a really good 2-buffer Villa skip, so that's almost as good as can go there. Let's see, Spiraster will buffer the save and quit there. Oh yeah, going for the new strat. If you buffer the save and quit menu twice there, that actually makes you heard the you heard the chime there from Terran like picking up the stick. But with save and quitting after the second time you pull up the save and quit menu, it actually cancels out the whole cutscene. So that's pretty good. Nice little time save again, found by Black SR, I guess. So at this point, once again, huge shoutouts to our boy Black SR. He's done so much for the speed game. So
at this point, Spiraster is getting his 11th seashell. This is the last of the 2 free seashells from the seashell mention.
Yeah, let's see if he goes for the swag sword there.
Yeah.
Ah, no swag sword. You can dash from the right to the left and just hold up or down, and that lets Link walk sideways by holding his sword up or down. A little swag strat there.
So, due to recent rerouting, when everyone started running this category again, but actually, like, this category has been made active by this tournament. People have started running this again because there's a tournament. And it's resulted in the route just turning on its head. There was a new skip found, which was a early hook shot. And from that, it's just blown the entire route wide open. And to the point where we've actually now been able to route level 2 sword extremely early in this run. Which is crazy.
It's actually not because we want to have the level 2 sword early in the game. It's just like way more convenient to get it early, because then your routing just works out way better and you don't have to do big detours to get it. Like I say, like, it was long overdue to give this category some more thoughts on some strats. Like basically I want to say since Zorlak 7's SGDQ round 2016, there's really not that many people, you know, running this category. Needless to say, putting thoughts into optimizing this category. So I'm really glad we did have this tournament this year, and also really glad that there are lots of really talented speedrunners getting into this category. So it's like a huge community effort to like pushing the speed, the world record in the last few months by over more than I'd say like over more than 3 minutes, I guess.
It's really just breathed it's just a breath of fresh air in this category. Like, more people running, we're finding more stuff, more optimizations, and then Sagas is coming up with a new route every single day.
Yeah. Very important.
Like, the last I hear is like he tried to do arrowless color dungeon and early rooster skip. I don't think I would like arrowless color dungeon. Just
No.
that one bomb trigger. But that bomb trigger saves a lot of time. So
Well, yeah. But really, arrowless is just so nasty.
God, that boss in color dungeon, the last one, is dreadful. Try and do that with bombs. Like, you still get knocked back if you have bombs, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't pay off. But yeah, like I like one other interesting thing in my opinion was there, like all the new strats we see now. If you compare it to like you know, the old speedruns that have been up to like since 3 or 4 months or something. Yo, nice bomb drop there
Nice
by Spicefather. I actually didn't know that tree drops bombs, man. What the hell? Yeah, the kind of interesting thing there was like those strats kind of already have been known, like the early magnifying lens skip we will see later. That was like actually a really annoying 20-ish buffer method by Surreal Guy was found already, but like it has gone like under a few optimizations to make it speedrunnable, and like, you know, it added more RNG into the run, but I also say it added more fun into the run, because like this is really quite advanced speed stuff we're seeing in this 90-ish minutes of speedrun.
Just wait until we see early rooster skip actually being a thing.
Oh nice, the nut touch.
Yeah.
Well, earlier we had the nut grab, now it's only a touch by Spiraster there.
Yeah. The early hook shot, I think that could be a regular thing in the future. I don't think it's something everyone will do. I think some runners will decide not to do it. But I think...
Yeah, like, I mean, like, we have a bunch of runners that follow the old route, I guess.
Yeah, Hundo at the moment is just so diverse. There's so many different routes, and there's really not too much time like between them. There is a definitive quickest route, which all the top runners use, but I mean, there are other routes that people can use. Like, if they don't like the new trick, they can still do the old route.
Oh yeah, indeed. Like, especially quite a bunch of the new tricks are like go into the category high risk, high reward. So it's totally legit, especially as a new runner, to like fall back to some older strats / eventually slower strats. But you know, it also depends on how much you want to grind the game.
Spice skin nut touch. So,
nice.
You want to know something interesting, Bamboo?
Hit me.
You see these seagulls on Spirasters?
Oh, damn it! You have to bring up that every time.
Well, Matt said please no, and I wasn't going to say it, and then he said please no. I thought, might as well.
Yeah, in case anyone do not notice, yeah, those seagulls are RNG, like their movement. But it's totally, really, it's totally...
It's cosmetic. It's
yeah, the RNG
no
dolls.
Yeah.
I was more curious about our boy Terran there in the picture at Spiraster. Like, is he actually having a red rope? I don't recall, like, if his like rope had some specific color. But yeah.
Maybe if he's red, that's sort of a sign that like there can't be two red people, so therefore get blue tunic.
Nah. I was just about to say that Terran is rather trendsetter, you know, like his red rope actually enforces you to take the red rope. So
I love how we've not explained anything to do with that.
yeah.
So, like, we actually skip most of the trade sequence in this game, and the only bits that we actually do are the bit at the end and like these 2 trades to get Marin. And the only reason why we need to get Marin is 3 pictures, which is required for 100.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, we only, even like in a casual playthrough, you only need a Marin for the cutscene we saw there with the walrus. So, like, that's really the only use we have for her right there. And, like, I love that, like, you know, like, until 3 or 4 months ago, we just went to the walrus, Marin did sing her song, and that woke up the walrus. But now, because, like, there's also been some optimizations going on and whatnot, we even use bomb triggers to trigger that screwing cutscene, you know, like... We got Marin right there, we just need to walk in front of the walrus to make her sing that song, but no, it's faster to use bomb triggers, so there we go.
So we should actually explain why it's quick. So obviously there's the distance in which she has to walk off, but there is also a menu that they save through, because they can bomb trigger the next heart piece. Now, menus are so important in this game. So each time you enter the menu, it costs you 2 seconds, and even more time the time that you actually spend on the menu. So we want to minimize the amount of menu time as much as possible. So if we can do something without having to enter our menu for a different item, we're gonna do it. And that's what we do with that bomb trigger.
Yeah, you can also see, like, especially in those 2 minutes between Dungeon 3 and Dungeon 4, lots of save and quits going on there, like you saw by Spiraster there. He's just, like, exploiting the thing there where save and quit puts you back to the last entrance, to the last warp point, if you want to, like, call it more technically, where you been. So that's, like, a thing that is used quite a bunch in 100% category.
So, yeah, this part of the map, this part of the run is really a collectathon at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like about a 15-minute segment where they're just going
Something
around
like
collecting
that.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like, I actually feared that this part would be, like, really so obnoxious and annoying, you know, being like a classic no scoop runner where you just go from dungeon to dungeon. I thought that this part of the run would really piss me off, but actually it's not that bad.
I think this is one of the better parts of the run, like watching as a racer, because like if you think about 100%, you need 20 seashells, you need all these heart pieces, you need all these pictures, and that can seem quite daunting. But when you see them do it this quick, it's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Sorry, you go ahead.
So, the heart piece after the fish key, so they basically buffer a bomb arrow, they fall down after Lamola, and that blows up the wall. They also killed Lamola with 2 arrows, and you didn't see him. His hitbox is there for about 2 or 3 seconds before he actually starts coming out of the ground, and arrows are OP, you can just kill him with 2 arrows.
Yeah, like, it must be really funny for to see this as quote unquote just casual gamer, you know. Like, I remember in that other race where we had, like, also the anglerfish quick kill, you know, some of these bomb arrows happen so quickly that you really don't even realize them. So yeah, like, once again, this game is really optimized. No obstacle skips, Spiraster, man.
Wow, it's disqualified.
Disqualified indeed.
Well, like, I think the previous commentators, Crunchy and Xander, they came up with a good idea, I think. When Dragon didn't do obstacle skip, they said ban him from all the LADX discords for 3 days. For each obstacle skip he doesn't get.
The problem is Spears is also a Tony admin and I need him. Yeah, but a beautiful
Corruption.
Jesus jump there by Spiraster. I don't know if we
Wait,
talked
no,
about that before.
This is the most important thing, though. Butt sword.
What? Oh yeah, it's even flashing this time. That's a weird bug again. Like, I mean, obviously they didn't think that someone would like hold out their sword then. But yeah, what we saw there is Spiraster doing to actually go up to the Telltale Heights there, even though he doesn't have the flippers yet, is something called Jesus jumping. Like we said before, you can frame perfectly buffer forward by frame with using the start menu, and like we exploiting that to open our start menu, the frame where you like touch the water, and when you're unpausing it again and just buffering the feather out of that makes you jump off the water, and we kind of call that Jesus jumping. I guess you know why. And it's a cool thing we're also going to use here in Dungeon 4 to make a stream transition where you're only, only supposed to do when you already have the flippers. But there we go, Spiraster with a nice 2 buffer. Really good on Jesus jumps today, our boy Spiraster.
I was hoping we were going to see early Rooster skip from space.
Nah.
Spice. I was hoping we were going to see. He said in chat he might.
I know. Those meme strats, man.
But I mean, it's not a meme strat. It's actually quicker. Like, it's just so risky because if you fall down, you have to do the Jesus jump again. Also, all of those buffers are for nothing. You have to like do a lot of buffers.
Yeah, I'm just reminding myself. I'm just reminding myself of Sagas' quicker, quote-unquote, quicker strats here with a early big key in Dungeon 4. That was actually something that kind of lost him the race eventually, I'd say.
Yeah. Because he attempted it quite a few times and he missed it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's of course in a race context, it's also the nerves going on there. And yeah, Kravon, you want to say something towards the boss fight?
I don't want to say anything.
Hook shut down!
I'll say something in chat. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah.
That emote.
Best emote ever. Yeah. Like, for those who do not know, you can just like do a spin slash and double bomb arrow on that boss, and it's like, I don't know. Like, really, devs made those bosses way too easy in my opinion. But
I don't think so.
I mean, that puts
not that one. You can't hook shot down. Actually,
yeah.
You can hook shot down.
No, well, we very much know that since that day. But yeah, like, I'm thinking it's not a bad thing because spicefather doing okay. Like, he went for some really risky strats there. Like, it's a high risk, low reward strat, I would say. It saves like maybe 1 second or something. But yeah, there at least he could like pick up pots and get out there. Also,
I was like, are you gonna do?
Yeah, of course, man. Like, you don't want to miss that.
Okay. I mean, does chat really want me to say how to hook shot down? Like, I'm not even kidding, Babu. You can actually do it without using up, down, left, right glitch.
Yeah.
We found a way.
Yeah. What was it again?
So basically, you slash your sword up or down, and then the frame that you do it, you use hook shot, and you hook shot up or down.
Oh yeah, because like Link is still facing that direction.
Because it's sort of it makes you think you're facing up if you're swording up. Yeah,
sounds legit, I guess. Yeah, but where I was going with this, like, I actually kind of like it that the bosses are quite easy. I mean, like, that puts the emphasis on other important things, like, number one, actually, movement. Especially in this category where you got so much overworld movement, you really should try to optimize and save a bunch of frames there by just, like, moving and equipping in the most efficient manner possible, you know.
Oh, there's so much optimization in this run. So we see Spiraster doing a bomb trigger. Now this is what you can do to skip most of the trade sequence. So there's apparently a pit on the side of that wall, and as a result of that, we can basically bomb trigger him.
Yeah, like it's weird that there's like a pit inside of the wall, but I mean, like it works for whatever reason. I mean, like this game has been really sloppily programmed at many points.
Well, you say that. You say it's sloppily programmed, but do you ever notice any of these as a kid?
No, sure not, but...
That's the thing. I mean, you could just say that we're really good at finding glitches in this game now.
Or that, yeah. Like, I mean, like, there has been other games, you know, the sort of following Oracle of Season and Oracle of Ages. I mean, like, we had speedrunners that are like computer science engineers or whatever, who disassembled the whole effing game, you know, like, disassembled the whole effing game, try to find glitches and optimizations and stuff, you know, and we didn't even do that with LADX, and still that's so much glitchier than, like, you know, like most Game Boy games that I know.
Devs don't expect you to do it. So, do you want to explain what Spiraster is doing right now?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That should work. Yeah. So what we're doing there? You saw Spiraster getting the what do we get there first? The bra, right? In the not prude Japanese or European versions, it's actually not a necklace; it's a bra, or like a bikini top rather. That was actually lost by the mermaid, and the fisherman got that with like just fishing there and whatnot. And we traded the bra to a piece of that statue that you're seeing just in Spiraster's screen. Problem is, we need the hook shot to get to that place there where you can insert the like the piece from the what do we actually get there? From the mermaid? No, from the mermaid. What is that called? A scale, yeah. We get like a scale from the mermaid that actually fits into that statue. Problem is, we need the hook shot. What we haven't entered D5 yet, and would be quite a hustle to go into there first and get the hook shot. So what we're doing is we're just like abusing that Zora that is spawning in the river between those pits, and try to bomb into some of these tiles that sort of makes us being stuck between the tiles. We can see this once again here at Spicefather's screen, and yeah, Spicefather also going for the newfound method, for the new method found by BlackSR. And well, we'll try to explain it with Spicefather. I'm attempting to do this. So what you're seeing here is that he's like standing in between the water and the side of that one tile that actually lets him jump off the ledge there, and that makes it possible to perform a super jump to actually cross that pit. I mean, it's a pretty neat trick. We call it early magnifying lens. And what that gives us to you, what that trick makes it possible for us is actually being seen on Spiraster's screen there, trying to trade the boots for the boomerang. And yeah, we can get the boomerang faster that way. So that's one of the newest strats. And with that, we can perform another glitch we will see later in Dungeon 5. So, new stuff right there. I hope we actually can also see this eventually at an offline event. Maybe also Games Done Quick. We'll see about that.
Yeah, this and early hook shot, which are they're both interlinked. Those two glitches in terms of this route. They are sort of the new big thing. Those are what have thrown this entire category on its head.
Yeah, like I'm really looking forward to having this category at a Games Done Quick again. Maybe HDQ 19 or SGDQ 19. That would be really cool. Like, especially with all the fuss we kicked up, you know, with the tournament and whatnot. Can you say that? Kick up a fuss? Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Drew hype, I'd say.
So Spiraster eventually getting the arrow upgrade here, hopefully. Shoutouts to Dragon CO.
You always give shoutouts to Dragon CO at weird points.
This is not a weird point. Did you see his race? He knows why I did give shoutouts to him at that part. But yeah, like this is where the time where you get the arrow upgrade. The arrow upgrade. Spiraster actually didn't. Actually had a bunch of arrows in the back there. So also interesting step by spicefather having the boomerang equipped here to pick up that seashell faster. That's like I've never seen that before. But a good choice of weaponry here.
You see, people are doing new things every single day in this game. Like, oh, did you see Dragon's backup Dungeon 6 seashell route?
No, he did get the seashell in Dungeon 6.
Yeah, he got the seashell in the back of Dungeon 6 using
Jesus,
like 4 or 5 Jesus jumps in quick succession, including two swordless jumps. And it was just like nuts.
I mean, like he's a rando player. He knows D6 better than myself.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
like,
even know.
That is his rando route.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to go in Dungeon 6 to get that seashell. I know there's a seashell in Dungeon 6. You know, like the one between the rafts and whatnot. Not the rafts. What you call them?
So, current world record is a 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 41 seconds by Seisei. And that was set 22 days ago.
Yeah, it's a pretty sick run. Like, I'm gonna say it's gonna take a bunch of time. It's gonna take some time until this world record gets broken again.
Yeah, but we're not gonna see that in a race in this tournament for sure.
Yeah, like it's just I'd say it's like too RNG heavy to actually get a.
I have to say, I wonder if we're gonna see any runs sub 120 in this tournament. I kind of hope we see at least one.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Yeah, and Spiraster picking up some rupees here to buy the song free for his ocarina later. We're not gonna use it at all, but we just need to collect it because it's part of the 100% requirement.
So
I was a little scary with 2 hearts here, but we should be able to manage that.
So that rupee room that Spiraster used, he's actually going to be using that twice, and the way he does it is that he will be hard resetting after he gets the nightmare key. And the reason for this, you can't save and quit for it because it's sort of stored in the game as RAM, so you have to hard reset.
Yeah, and he's also being able to pick up a fairy there from the mini boss. That's really convenient. Super jump with the arrow here, that's always looking pretty cool, I'd say. And there goes the hard reset. And yeah, that makes him, Grimon has 2 different voices for commentating, yeah. I'm sorry, I joined in late today, so I was missing on the Twitch channel description.
Yeah, getting my other voice to show up on time is sometimes a bit difficult. I also can use them both at the same time, just sometimes.
It's like Seth MacLaren, or what he's called from Family Guy, you know, like he can
multi-personality disorder.
Yeah, he can do all these different voices.
And the weird thing is that my other voice is also with a German accent.
That German accent, though, man.
Okay, so Spiraster's his bingo room. We saying it's bad or terrible?
Well, he was okay-ish, I'd say.
Wait, you can have okay bingo rooms? I thought you can only have bad and terrible ones.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta ask Spiraster later.
No one ever has a good room in there, ever.
And that boss. Well, basically, you just want to stay in front of him, hope he doesn't shoot these weird
Oh my
thingies, and just fire arrows.
Yeah, Spiraster getting wrecked a bit there.
Yeah, like you don't want to move that. Don't want to have that boss moving to the left or to the right. So.
So what you don't sort of see on Spiraster's like screen when he does that is that this boss has knockback. Not only when you hit it with the sword, but when you hit it with the bow, it knocks you back as well. Spiraster going with the correct option in terms of tunic. So they have to get one of the tunics for. Don't you do that. So Spice almost getting the double bingo in pit. So they have to get one of the two tunics for the game. Well, for the Hundo run. Most people prefer red tunic. So the difference is. The blue tunic is going to reduce the damage you take by, I believe, half a heart. While the red tunic is going to increase your damage, increase your picking up speed until you have the level 2 bracelet. And it's also going to give you knockback. The knockback is important because it comes with invincibility frames. And we'll see at a boss later on that this can actually cause issues. Blue tunic is definitely the safer option. Red is the more aggressive option.
I see Spiraster's point there. He already said that, like in one of the last races, he commentated that, like with the old routing, red tunic was definitely the better choice for going through Dungeon 5 because, like, there are a bunch of enemies that actually take 2 hits and you can one-shot them easily. Although we have the level 2 sword right now, so like, but. Yeah, like I'd say there are a bunch of situations where the level 2 sword is still like more efficient. Not the level 2 sword is more efficient. Sorry, the red tunic is more efficient than the level 2 sword. So, and I mean, like with the early route where we go through Dungeon 5, we also don't have the level 2 sword yet. So,
gonna give a seizure warning on Spiraster's screen.
Oh yeah. So where I want to go with this is like, I'd say red tunic is still faster, but I can totally see, especially in a race context where you want to get the blue tunic, it just makes like this section easier. No, but actually, come to think of it, we have sorry, I was mistaken. We have level 2 sword going into Dungeon 5, so that makes actually the red tunic also more obsolete. Yeah, where did I want to go with this? We have like a huge part coming up here with the signpost maze and also the armor's maze right there. So it doesn't hurt to have like some extra defense with a blue tunic, so you don't have like to pick up extra hearts or a fairy before going into Dungeon 6, because we're gonna take some intentional damage there later to save time.
I think a good analogy to maybe use with red tunic versus blue tunic. Let's say you kill an enemy and a heart drops and you're low health. The person that takes red tunic is the same kind of person that's going to leave that heart there. The person that takes blue tunic is the kind of person that will go and grab that heart because it's a safety heart.
It's a mental state, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like the same kind of comparison as that. So Spiraster getting the longest to get... I think it's the longest to get single thing that we have to get in. Is that one heart piece in the mode.
Oh yeah, in the Canada Castle mode. And Spiraster getting the last of his 12 pictures, actually. Which can only be triggered once you picked up the magnifying lens, so that's another advantage with having the magnifying lens earlier here. Like, and with the old route, we used to pick up that picture way later in the speedrun. So you should be done on pictures by now. So let's see whether he does like a verification check within one of the next menus. Not yet. Like I did this like in my last race, You know, like it's a convenient place
yeah.
there. Well, yeah,
There
I
was
mean,
that
like
whole thing.
I'm sort of branded, you know.
There was that whole thing.
But yeah. Like you see Spiraster pushing around these armor statues. He's gonna try to squeeze one of these later and they're gonna damage him. So like it's convenient to have the blue tunic here. Like we actually saw racers picking the red tunic and dying at these sections. So like it's not the worst thing you can do with a blue tunic here. I mean, I even prefer the color blue over red, and still I pick the red tunic.
I love how we have I love when they go into the Zora house. They basically roll in.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, Spiraster doing the classic boot strats there. That's one of the good things with the blue tunic. You can like do your no save and quit strats. Yeah, you're used to doing a save and quit there. That's interesting. Never seen that strat.
Because with red tunic, it's gonna knock that mini boss back, so it's gonna be a lot harder to do boot strats. But also with red tunic, you're able to slash the boss. So that's sort of the balance of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to say a carefully executed boot strats would probably still be slightly quicker.
Yeah, boot strats with red tunic are definitely faster. Because you just can, you know, how do I say it? Freeze him at the bottom there.
Yeah.
And it's easy peasy. So that's like the almost he has to squeeze through, and he's like saving a whole heart there, with the blue tunic as opposed to having the red tunic here. Let's see about Spicefather's boot strats here. Oh, he's doing the upper ones. Those are so pretty cool. Okay, getting hit there, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Nice backup by Spicefather there. And that's still a solid free cycle. I mean, like, if you only know the game casually, you're probably wondering, casually you fight this guy with the arrows, but turns out that if you just dash into this guy, it makes way more damage than with the arrows. So that's the kind of strat we're going for in the speedrun.
So, like, we've been memeing quite a lot in commentary and in this race. I'd just like to say something about the community. We meme a lot, and there's a lot of inside jokes in the LADX community, and we've got a whole Discord for it, and it's an amazing community. We're all friendly towards each other. There's no one that's ever hostile in our community at all, and yeah, it's a brilliant community, and we sort of help each other out a lot. And so the banter we have is pretty good.
Yeah. So also on that question, with the routing nodes, best way to get those would be probably just to join the Discord, and you know, like we have all the materials, all the resources on the speed game in there. You know, it's like also like one of the rather active Discords I'm joined, because like there's always folks chatting about stuff, you know what, not only about the speed game but also personal stuff and things like the Brexit or whatnot.
Oh god! Actually, because of that, I posted my videos of the place I went to, and like literally no one responded to it.
Yeah. You know, it's haunting me actually. I just bought new shoes by Reebok, and I realized that only later after I bought them that I actually had a British flag on the side. And those are like sort of my Brexit shoes now. You know, like I didn't even realize until like a friend of mine said, "Yo, you got new shoes, nice." And I was like, "Yeah, just bought them yesterday." And she was like, "Well, there you got your Brexit shoes." And I was like, "What?"
Just Brexit shoes.
The Brexit shoes, yeah. Sponsored, yeah, but there's also other shoe brands like Nike or DC or whatever, so yeah.
Yeah, you just did you just did a sponsorship. I hope you paid for that.
Well,
So,
go figure, man.
so we didn't talk about Horsehead. Okay, so Spiraster's actually fighting a boss now. He spawns like after 3 bombs are placed. Like he spawns in a set amount of time, but you can place 3 bombs before. Now, I heard a story. Well, it's more a theory from Oros, and he said he had a theory about this boss. I like it's clear he made it up on the spot, but I'm gonna spread this theory that this boss, this face, is actually the ex-boyfriend of Marin. So we'll see how far that meme spreads.
Well, I thought she was like a virgin or something. Why the fuck? Why the hell did she have an ex-boyfriend? You know? You know, Link's girlfriend, or like I always thought. Oh fuck! I'm sorry.
Spice
I'm
doesn't
sorry
have
with the
your
cursing.
card.
Yeah, like he definitely doesn't have my card there.
Okay, so moving on, we'll talk about Horseheads.
Yeah, like
Okay, so
there are some. I'm gonna say. How do I put this? Not trick cartridges. How do you call that in English? Some pimped cartridges. I'm gonna say that now.
some hacked cartridges.
Yeah, some hacked cartridges.
And you have one
some
of them.
doctored cartridges. That's what I wanted to say. That gives you first try Horsehead every time. I guess Spicefather used his normal one tonight. Yeah, but like pretty much pretty straightforward so far. I mean, like we had like the early magnifying lens that could have been like another time where Spicefather would be able to catch up to Spiraster, but like both did pretty well so far with all of the things in the last 30-ish minutes. So still like I would say like.
I think Spicefather got second try, so he lost some time on that.
Yeah, but like, I didn't think it was like too severe. I would still say they're like a minute apart or something, and we can see that changing drastically in a bit because we got the early hookshot coming up.
At this point, the gap you see between the 2 runners, this is all still from the start RNG. And they're so close to each other in terms of like their times.
Indeed,
Spice seems to be leaking bombs. So do you want to explain this?
Yeah, so what we can see here is Spiraster lining up on a certain pixel, and then first try. That's pretty good. And then you saw him spawning the key there and picking up the key with a boomerang, but jumping next to the very pixel that is like 0 pixels away from the screen transition. So once he lands on the ground again, he has like the boomerang returning to him, and the boomerang already picked up that key. So like with a little effort there and like a bunch of optimizations, I'd say, you're actually able to pick up that key while screen transitioning. And if you perform that accurately, you're actually picking up the key being in the room to the left from where you picked up the key. Well, in that room, the item that spawns is usually the hookshot you get from the Master Stealthers number 4. But since like the game has some sort of property, I'd say, where only one item can spawn per screen, the game actually doesn't know that the item that should spawn there, like the item that he just picked up is a single, like a small key. The game actually thinks that it's a hookshot because he's in the other screen there. And that's like a really cool exploit there. We can only perform that with having the boomerang, So that's also one of the reasons why we got the boomerang so early in the run, so that we can perform that trick. Yeah, so really quite technical, that trick there, but skips a huge portion of this really annoying dungeon. Yeah, and spicefather unfortunately having bad RNG there, struggling with that trick quite a bunch, so, well, Spiraster can widen the gap between him and his opponent. And yeah, like we said earlier, this is one of these RNG parts in the run already again, but we have more RNG coming up, so, well, Spicefather will have plenty of situations where he still can catch up.
So
And Spicefather eventually getting it. This was like 4th try, I guess.
You see that Spiraster two-shotted that wall snake. Now, if you had red tunic, that's the boss where you're gonna have trouble because the knockback and the invincibility frames inherent in that. When you slash your sword through it, it's gonna give invincibility frames, and you're not able to land the 4 hits necessary reliably that are gonna allow you to two-cycle the boss. So quite often people will 3-cycle if they have red tunic.
Spiraster not getting the frame perfect mumble tune there. That's pretty good.
It's better than what Orlos did.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. I just remember you being like, "Oh, did you see what Orlos do?" And I think he was perfect on that as well.
That was a blooper. I was watching the other Razor's screen at the
time. Yeah, I know, man. Good night, Xander. And yeah, like I remember that. Like I watched that clip like a bunch of times in a row. That was really funny. So like,
you've watched every clip that has been a meme with me.
I mean, like it's really. I mean, like it would have been really funny if he actually would have tried to ICS there, but
that would have been hilarious.
I actually guess that he thought that he had the boots on A, but yeah, turns out he had the flute on A, so he fluted right after he fought the boss. So shoutouts to our friend, to our bon ami, Orlos.
Yeah, so okay, Spiraster getting obstacle skip.
Nice. Well, 1 out of 2, still disqualified. So yeah, Rooster Skip. You want to take this one?
Okay, so Rooster Skip. Normally, as a casual, you'll have to get the Rooster to get the bird key with this jump. So Rooster Skip, quite self-explanatory. Well, we basically do a boots jump first of all, and then we use the hook shot. And what the hook shot does is that there is a frame when we use a hook shot when it fully disappears into Link that we're able to jump. Now, there's some people that do this bufferless, but as of late, I've seen a lot of people in this tournament doing it buffered. That's pretty reliable to do it buffered. It is a very risky trick. It's effectively mandatory now with bomb triggers, I feel. But, yeah, actually, I guess not in Hundo. But yeah, if you fall down the pit, it's about 20 to 30 seconds that you lose.
It's at least 30 seconds, actually.
Yeah, it's one you don't want to mess up.
Yeah. And that can happen a bunch of times, you know, like if you fall down a bunch of times there. Spiraster going for the safe strat there with the buffers, and that again, thanks to the game, we can buffer frame by frame, so that lets Spiraster buffer to the frame that you have to hit to exploit that glitch in the game where you can jump on that one certain frame after the hookshot is retracting to Link. So yeah, Spiraster going for the safe strat there, totally legit in a race context, I'd say. And well, yeah, that made him pick up the bird key. going into Dungeon 7.
I wonder if we're going to see a reverse route skip from Spice.
The swag strats. Oh dear.
I mean, he memed pretty heavily in his first race.
Yeah, I think in this one he still has a shot, so he's still going for it, I'd say.
So Spice bomb triggering another heart piece that we can bomb trigger. Like we can bomb trigger so much stuff, and you're gonna see this Dungeon 7. You thought you knew what Dungeon 7 looked like as a kid. You do not know what it looks like. This is what Dungeon 7 really looks like in speedrun.
Indeed,
Use bomb triggers everywhere here. Just knock down all the pillars, because they're apparently a cutscene.
Oh, 6 side bomb trigger there by Spiraster. That's a really tough one, actually.
Yeah.
You have to like get a frame perfect input, up left or up down, and A on the same frame. So that's pretty well executed there by Spiraster. Also, I guess we saw a spicefather having no trouble there with a root skip. Oh no, he dropped down. Oh shoot! I wasn't watching the screen.
Yeah.
I was too amazed by
I was
Spiraster's
watching
bomb trigger.
Spiraster as well.
Yeah. Well,
that's bad for Spice.
Yeah, I guess that just wasted at least 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh, he did it unbuffered. Okay, yeah.
Spiraster can just play it safe now. So Spice losing another 30 seconds there. So Spiraster doing a pretty swag super jump there, where he basically bonks off the P hat onto the raised blocks, and that allows him to skip the boss key.
Yeah, that trick is looking so cool. Like really, if it was for swagness, I think we would still do that trick. But yeah, Goomba Surface.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, it's like it's swag. It's not all that slower, and it's not RNG.
Yeah.
That's the crucial thing, it's not RNG.
Indeed, yeah. This run has enough RNG as it is. Beautiful unbuffered rooster skip by spicefather there. Only worked the third time though, but that was really well done, and it looks pretty cool to do it unbuffered, you know. It's so sick to see Link jumping off while standing in between those pits.
So Spiraster, I mean, if his D8 and his final boss go fine, he could be getting a pretty decent PB.
Yeah, like he hasn't any major screw-ups so far. He had a good early magnifying lens. He had the first try early hookshot in Dungeon 5, so that's a big frame saver there. Frame saver. Well, rather second saver. Yeah, big time save there.
So,
yeah, we might see not only a race PB but also a regular PB for Spiraster here.
I'm not sure what Matt's referring to there.
Though he's staying a little high on the Marin skip there. Hope he's aligning up to the bottom.
Well, he fell in.
Okay, luckily you don't have to align with a bottommost pixel there to skip Marin. So like that's why we reason why we jump below Marin and not save her with a hookshot is obvious, because like saving her triggers a cutscene, and well, we don't want to have that cutscene because it like wastes 30-ish seconds, if not even more.
I don't want to answer Spice in chat.
How's my pace? Sup, P-Dog.
My answer would be at the point where you mean. But I don't want to say that because it's his race.
Yeah. We measure paces in being in 100%. We measure paces in being sub P-Dog or not sub P-Dog, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is anytime P-Dog sets a PB, it just raises that bar for people to have sub P-Dog runs.
Yeah, and of course, easy peasy flame skip. Just wall clipping to the left there. I remember from back in the day, playing this as a child, really trying to get around that flame, but well, I don't know. Like I never realized that I could. Yeah, I didn't know that I could wall clip there. Like I remember that I like fiddled around with it a little bit, trying to get past the flames without level 2 shield. Oh, beautiful Goomba Surf by Spicefather there. That actually saved also some time.
I think flame skip you can get through with potion without a wall clip.
No, without the wall clip you can get past the flame because it always pushes you down to the bottom again.
Oh yeah. I guess the invincibility frames aren't enough.
No. Well, looking back, interestingly enough, I already tried back then to kind of break the game. So, you know, my path to become a speedrun eventually was already set then. Yeah, just double spin slash with a level 2 sword makes play no fight easy peasy. Oh, it's possible with a potion. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, we actually know that because of Rando as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. You Rando guys.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to get through there and you're not going to get the mirror shield.
Oh, another frame perfect lava swim by Spiraster there. So like in the same manner we do Jesus jumps, once you actually have the flippers, you can... Oh, Spiraster getting a heart piece later. That's a cool strat there. Once you already have the flippers, you can screen transition while standing over lava pits and tricking the game into thinking that you actually just like not dropping into lava but actually swimming into the lava. Like it's a really weird property in the game, I'd say. But yeah, that also lets us skip a bit of the dungeon there.
Lava swim is my favorite trick.
Oh yeah,
in the game.
Yeah. Where's the lava? Best dungeon. Yeah, so Spirits are also performing here really well, this Dungeon 8, so, he's definitely on PP pace still. Let's see how his hot net goes.
See, let's hope he doesn't go for the disclude. When you went for the disclude, I like when I saw you do that, I was like, no, why did you do that? Because you were still on pace to still be able to win that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I said, I wasn't too well yesterday, and I kind of knew that I would lose eventually because like Oz is such a good speedrunner, and like I said before, his movement is really through the roof. Like he's one of the best movements in the Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX community. So I mean, like I also had like 5 or 6 blue balls, so my run was, you know, yeah, that ship had sailed, you know.
But the thing is, you didn't know you were going to get those blue balls until you...
That's right, though, yeah. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. And I was glad to... You know, I actually trying to get the disclude hothead there. I didn't even know that I would get it, like, right off the bat, you know. After all, it's a frame perfect trick, you know. So beautiful Windfish egg tune there.
Yeah,
It's customary.
We have a rule
Customary
with
to shush.
commentating that we just don't talk over that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm always gonna remember my time at SGDQ running no scoop against TGH and Teach being at the Windfish egg cutscene, and our commentators were like, "So, we heard you the last time we speedran this game. We're gonna shush this time during the Windfish egg ballot, so we're gonna zip it." 5 seconds later, I guess our hoster didn't hear what we said before. Our hoster goes, "We got a $300 donation saying greetings from Germany." Yeah, it was gold. So yeah, I guess let's talk about this final boss rush here by Spiraster, getting the bomb trigger and the quick kill on the blob. So that's already one. The text box is ripped. The first boss fight, quite a long shortcut there. Sorry, with the first boss fight. Let's see Aghanim, how it treats him.
Getting one blue ball. So these blue balls are 50-50 on the last two hits, and they're uncapped. They could go on forever. But Spiraster only getting one blue ball, I think.
Yeah, it was only one. Yeah.
Yeah. So blue balls they cost 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Spiraster could get a really solid time here.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, indeed, man.
I mean, let's see who he like. He might sub. Actually, no, he won't sub TJs. He might go sub Xander,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how Devil treats him. Like in other speedrun routes, we have to shoot 16 arrows in his eye. We only need the boomerang for one hit in this category, but he eventually has to open his eye. Oh, well, I guess it's not going to be sub Xander, but definitely a huge PP for our boy Spiraster here.
The cutscene's going to be too long. He might tie his end. Oh no, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you in the IRC
Spiraster.
chat? Yeah, GG Spiraster, indeed. That was pretty good.
I guess we pressed done on the commentary panel for him. So yeah, that's a massive PB for him. So see if he's gonna come in for an interview.
Yeah.
You also have to show the verification screen.
So, Spiraster, GG by the way, Spiraster are finishing with a 1:22.45 SRL time. That's pretty epic. Yo, what's up?
Hello, Spiraster. GG. That was a flawless run.
It felt pretty good.
Indeed, man.
Like I know it's still only a 122 compared to like the top guys, but but I mean, for my skill level, I didn't really feel like I made any big mistakes there.
Well, we didn't notice anything big. Like there were like maybe one or two like small things, but nothing major really.
Yeah, just a few things here and there.
So
and I feel like I had really good luck in that run as well, except for Horseheads. Everything else seemed to be on my side.
Yeah, the luck was very balanced in this. In that you got really good luck, Spice got the worst luck.
Oh.
He had some real trouble getting 10 rupees at the start, and then the shopkeeper trolled him for a good pile.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have any comments regarding that? I mean, I can't really find too many talking points. It was all like flawless.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I can't really remember too much of the run going through it. because the whole time I knew I was like on good pace, and it just kept getting better. So I just kept trying to like focus on the next part. So I don't really remember what things were good and what things were bad, unfortunately.
Well, I guess you must have golded your D5. That was pretty flawless.
I golded everything. Like, yeah, I got like 8 golds in that run, or something like that.
Nice.
So, is your
So I'm very happy.
is your PB on SRC your current? Well, your old.
No, my current PB prior to this was a 125 something.
Okay, that's huge. Like over 2 minutes time save. That's massive.
Yes, yeah. So it says I saved over 3 minutes, but to be honest, like it was long overdue in a sense. You know, maybe not this good of a PB, but like that 126 I had and the 125 were just full of mistakes on my part. And like today, beforehand, I was practicing and trying to grind out a PB before the race, and I just couldn't get it, and it was really frustrating. But I'm very happy with this because I feel like this is a good time, like for my skill level, you know.
Oh, indeed.
It's-
Like, especially with good Devil RNG, you could have gotten a Zop Xander. Shout out to our boy Xander Thier, who also actually got a race PB this week, I guess.
Yeah, he got a 122, didn't he too, or was it a 121?
Yeah, he got a 122.40-ish. So I guess you were barely above his time.
Right.
And yeah, our boy Spicefather finishing here as well with an official SRC time by 1:26:55.
I have to say, Spiraster, I don't see you being topped for top Canadian anytime soon.
Well, don't count them out because Spice is really good, and don't forget GT is technically Canadian.
He is indeed.
And we have Spicefather with us here. GG to your run.
Spiraster, would you be able to show the verification screen?
Yeah, I'm just letting the credits run.
Okay.
Oh, this could be good for me.
GG
I
Spice.
mean,
Yo, GG to you, and congrats on that PB.
Yeah, thanks.
That's a really nice PB.
I just kind of kept going and trying not to choke it, and it worked out for once.
Yeah.
so Space. This might Spice. This might be a little bit controversial. Chad might be annoyed at me, but how does it feel having the run killed within the first 2 minutes of the run by RNG?
Oh, you know, not too good. I mean, the entire run was killed by RNG, really.
That's
I had sick rupee RNG coming off the beach, but then I got to the bushes and it just wasn't putting out. And I had 5th try early hook shot, which was upsetting.
Yeah, that was really a pain to watch.
And Goombas were also kind of a pain to me. But I don't know. Overall, I thought I performed well, apart from stealing. So,
yeah. You I think you also missed risk it twice, and it was interesting because the difference is that Spiraster did a buffered, and you did unbuffered, and it kind of backfired on you a bit there. You lost.
I actually started off doing buffered I started off doing unbuffered, and I got a couple of misses, so I tried buffering after that, and I got the first jump, and then I fell in because of frame rules. And then the second try I came back and I got firsties unbuffered, and then I got frame ruled. And then I came back and I did unbuffered, and I think I got like firsties and secondsies.
Yeah, like your Rooster Skip way eventually looked really clean.
I have to say, if it makes you feel any better, I think even with like normal RNG, I still think Spiraster had this. He had like such a solid run.
Oh yeah, that's That's not a time I can compete with, not without
Yeah,
actual practice. He's been
Like, he
working
was-
hard today.
he was 5 or 6 seconds off being sub-Xander. That's how quick it was.
It was funny too though because I did put in a bit of practice today, but it really didn't feel like good practice considering how poorly it went. But I guess I don't know. I guess I shook it out of my system or something.
I guess you knew you were fighting for Canada.
Yeah, that's
that
quite
Canadian
an
crown.
important honor. Because you know when you're top of the leaderboard out of the Canadians, that means you're the meme king.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a ceremony later, and the crown will be passed on. It'll be very important.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give you the crown
Nice.
sometime this weekend.
they'll mention you when they do their parade for Canada Day.
Yeah, and that's true too because Spice and I both live in Canada. We're just down the street from each other, so we can obviously just meet up and hand off the crown.
Canada's not too big, so like
Yeah,
everyone
it's
knows.
pretty small
You
place.
just walk down the street like there's green tunic there. There's Leon Pow just
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
street.
Catch up with Disclude every once in a while. Yeah, it's
It's
good
probably darker, like across like a small little lake.
stuff. No, see, because Quebec is across this like dark, ominous ravine. You know, it's like where Dad tells you never to venture.
Don't go to Quebec. They speak funny over there.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about my run anyway. I'm very happy. I'm really happy with how it went.
Oh yeah, it was really well performed throughout. So I guess your practice this afternoon paid off, or like for you rather this morning or something.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it did. And I think above all, I'm just really happy to have like a good set of splits to run against now. Because my other PBs had like minutes of time loss in certain splits. That was always really annoying to try to figure out. Like, we'll try to compare against like with new runs. So now this, I mean, it's not that this run didn't have mistakes, right? Because like I'm still 4 minutes off world record, but it'll be a lot more consistent to run against and sort of actually improve.
It's funny you
Yeah.
mentioned minutes of time loss. I'm looking at my splits now. Enter D1, I'm a minute behind. I managed to claw back to only 9 seconds behind going into D5. And then
Oh,
D5
my
happened.
Mhm.
And then Rooster Skip happened.
It makes me think that it's not the graph that was posted in the memes channel. Oh, so I think someone posted their PB graph, and it was like all above, and then the end was just like a drop.
Yeah, that was one of Xander's more recent ones.
Yeah, I mean, like, still Windfish Egg RNG can be rough, even though in 100% some of the parts aren't as RNG heavy, like the Devil Fight and whatnot. But yeah, on another note, shoutouts also to Spiraster for getting back the Canadian record there.
Thank you.
That was a good race there. That was fun to watch.
Indeed, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And even though like Spiraster was in the lead throughout the race, you weren't too far apart. Like this could have still like changed with like you know, the classics like Rooster Skip, early magnifying lens, or early hook shot. And
Or
just turned
Aghanim,
out that Spiraster had really good RNG today, and Spicefather having really shitty RNG today. So that can happen. Needless to say, you still need to perform well throughout the run to actually get good times. So it's you still
your
need to
opponent-
practice that run.
If your opponent has bad RNG, you need to be quick to capitalize on that.
Indeed. So like if you're watching this and you're new to this run, this like the guys make it look really easy, but actually they've been running and practicing this game quite a bunch. So
Well, Dragon didn't. He just winged it, but yeah. Most of the
can be-
runners have been practicing quite a lot.
yeah, it can be also a legit strat to just wing it.
Just wing it and get a 118.
But
Indeed.
Dragon's just special like that. He's able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, with such a long speed run where you have to pick up so many things, can't hurt to be able to improv every now and then.
Well, we see that from all the different routes that we see nowadays. Like, there's quite a number of them, and people would like. A lot of people use different routes, and it's just so open. You can wing it.
But you shouldn't. Well, I mean, like, those are all legit strats. I'm more of a friend to, like, practice and prepare, and then if you actually run, try to perform as well as possible. But, I mean, like, you can also just spam runs and use that as sort of on-the-fly practice to get better. I mean, like, it's up to each speedrunner. That's also one of the beauties with speedrunning in general. That, you know, like, there's not the right way. You can always, like, play around with stuff, always like try to explore new stuff and whatnot. So it's like, you know, do it as you want, as you wish, and just have fun with the game.
But in the case of Sega, sometimes you can explore too much.
Indeed, yeah. Shout outs to our man Segas.
God knows what route he's going to come up with in his next race.
Oh, yeah.
Unrecognizable.
Well, still waiting for early rooster skip in a run.
It
No,
is
we're
funny.
always
I did.
Two on.
I was gonna say I did actually suggest a Spiraster before the race. I said if you do early rooster skip, I will as well. Could have been a really fun race if we done that.
Yeah, could have been.
You could have still had a sick PB.
I'll tell you what.
I could have had a better PB. I could have saved time.
Oh man, why
Spice,
didn't
you could have caught up a bit if you had gone there. Like, if you went for it and you got it, you would have caught up a bit.
Yeah, but it's not worth it. Nothing Stigaz does is worth it.
It's really,
it's really, really risky.
yeah. It's really one of the most obnoxious tricks I've
yeah.
seen so far with this new 100% rod, and I sure hope that this one doesn't become a thing. But well,
I mean, so it basically saves half a minute minus the time to actually do it, and that's the key thing, is minus the time to do it. That trick can take a long time.
yeah, indeed. I mean, like, routing wise, it makes totally sense, but just to get this trick done in a proper manner. And it's like only 20 to 30 minutes into the run. You still have to perform well for another hour there and also get good RNG. So, well, it's a high risk, low-ish reward strat, so we'll see how that is going to evolve.
So, yeah, looking at the schedule, there's nothing on Speed Gaming 3 after this. The next race for LADX is in just under 4 hours on Speed Gaming 2. I don't know who's racing that, actually.
Oh, it's actually
I think it's
a
Crunchy.
Yes, it's actually gonna be a 4-way race this time.
Oh, yeah, it's that one.
We'll be gonna having Pika Pals versus Perfect Quest and White Wolfers versus Crunchy Legs. So this is also a beauty with our tournament being in the Swiss mode, that already, like, with the first round, there's like more equally skilled pairings, and this is one of the pairings we're having tonight as well. So I'm expecting a really interesting race with a lot of back and forth there. Not going to be seeing it though, because it's going to be 4 a.m. my time, so I'm going to be
same.
I'm going to be surely asleep.
We'll be watching the VOD most likely.
Indeed, but we're going to have really good commentators on that one, our boys Final Flame and Phantom Mud. So if you like LADX, be sure not to miss that.
Yep.
And yeah, and on another note, we're going to have lots of Celeste on other Speed Gaming channels tonight, and a little bit of Final Fantasy 1 randomizer and Super Mario Bros. So if you're not from Europe like I am, and if you're not going to go to bed right away after the stream, then you should stick around. And I guess it's gonna be it for us tonight.
Yep.
Thank you so much, guys, for this lovely race. I really enjoyed it. Congrats again to Spiraster for that huge PB. That was a really well executed run.
Thank you, and thanks you guys for commentating, especially you two for being so late where you are.
Yeah, no problem.
It's fine. Someone has to commentate.
Also, thanks for spicefather with the race. I'm excited to see where is it going, like with your next round of Swiss there. And yeah, that's about it, I guess.
With any luck, I'll get another knockout next round, and I won't have to do my 4th.
We'll see about that. There's still lots of exciting races ahead of us. So with the Swiss mode, there's going to be really always neat pairings, and I'm excited where this is going to be going. Top 8 of our 18 runners will advance to the bracket stage then. So we're going to have some more LADX throughout July and eventually August.
I have to say, I can't wait until the end of Swiss round when we have a that tie race.
Oh yeah.
That is gonna be nuts.
Yeah. So you see lots of more exciting LADX coming on Speed Gaming. Thanks again to Fiesel and his team with the restream and everything. We're thankful to be a part of this again. And yeah, guess we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks, Carbone, for the commentary. Thanks to our racers. And yeah, have a nice evening, guys, and we'll see you around.
Right.